let's talk about a feeling that, well, every single one of us knows: laziness. But what if I told you it's not some kind of character flaw? What if it's actually a bug in your personal operating system? Today, we're going to dive into this idea that what you've been calling laziness is really a system failure.
You know the feeling, right? You start the day totally on fire, ready to go. But then, bam, 3 p.m. hits and you just smack into a brick wall. The focus is gone, the energy has completely vanished. You call it the afternoon slump. Maybe you even call yourself lazy for it. But what if that diagnosis is completely and utterly wrong? So let's just get this out of the way right now. Be crystal clear. That feeling, it is not a problem with your character. It is not a problem with your work ethic. It's not a moral failing. The label laziness is just fundamentally wrong. The real issue is actually something much more technical. Here it is. The real problem is that you've run out of cognitive RAM. Seriously, think of your brain's daily processing power just like the RAM in your computer. You wake up in the morning with a full, clean slate, but every single little decision, what to wear, what to eat, which email to open first, it uses up a tiny piece of that mental bandwidth. By the afternoon, you're not lazy. Your system has just run out of memory.
Okay, so let's properly diagnose this so-called afternoon crash. We need to look at where all that precious mental energy is actually going. And I'm willing to bet the answer is not what you think.
I mean, just look at this list. What's so wild is how mundane these things are. What to wear, what to eat, which email to click on. Each one, on its own, feels completely insignificant, right? But you put them together and they become these silent killers of your productivity. You are spending your absolute peak mental energy, your best, sharpest thinking of the day, on these low-impact, trivial choices before you even get to the work that really, truly matters.
And this quote it nails the tragedy of it all. You have this incredible capacity for deep, creative, game-changing work, but you're burning through all your high-octane fuel just to keep the lawn tidy. It's a profound waste of potential, and it's happening every single day. So what is the root cause here? Well, the source material calls it a bug in our mental operating system, or our neural OS. It's a fundamental glitch in the way we approach our daily choices. And this bug has a name: cognitive drag. It's this invisible friction that gets created every single time you treat a decision like it's a brand new problem to solve. Each time you pause and think, okay, what should I do now? You are paying a mental tax, a tiny transaction cost, drawn directly from your limited supply of focus. And after 100 of those tiny taxes, your mental bank account is completely empty. Oh, I love this metaphor because you can just feel it, can't you? You've got this high-performance engine inside you, capable of incredible speed and power. But the system you're operating in, the system of constant, trivial, manual decisions, it forces you to just lurch forward, stop. Lurch forward, stop. You never ever get to open up the throttle and actually use the power you have. And this gets to a really crucial point, this fundamental misunderstanding we have about willpower. We're all taught that it's a muscle, right? That when things get tough, you just have to flex harder and push through. But that thinking leads directly to burnout. The reality, willpower is a finite battery. It needs to be preserved, managed, and used strategically, only on the things that matter. That's what leads to a state of productive, strategic flow. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. And this isn't about trying harder. It's about upgrading your entire operating system. It's about shifting from being just a user of your mind to becoming its architect. The logic of this new OS is just beautiful in its simplicity. Think of your mental throughput, the amount of valuable work you actually produce, as a ratio. It's your creative output divided by the total number of decisions you have to make. So if you want to get more brilliant work out into the world, you don't need to try harder to be creative. You just need to drastically shrink the bottom number. Reduce the noise, and the signal, your best work will come through loud and clear. And this requires a radical redefinition of what freedom even is. We're taught to think freedom as having endless options, 100 types of cereal, 50 shows to watch. But the architect knows that real freedom is the exact opposite. It's the disciplined elimination of distraction. It is having zero noise so you can focus all of your energy on the 1% of work that will change everything. So how do we actually do it? How do we install this upgrade and finally move from being decision-heavy to being strategically automated? Let's get into the practical 3-step protocol. Okay, let's break this down. Step 1, the RAM audit. You literally list out those recurring energy leaks, like what to eat for lunch, what to wear, and turn them into standard operating procedures. No more debate, just pure execution. Step 2, live by rules. You create simple if-then logic. If it's a weekday morning, then I write for 60 minutes. This completely eliminates that in-the-moment calculation. And finally, step 3, hardwire your environment. If you want to drink more water, you put a giant pitcher on your desk. If you get distracted by your phone, you put it in another room. You design your world so the right choice becomes the easy choice. Look, let's be really clear. The reason this matters so much is because you have an incredible tool at your disposal, a high-bandwidth mind capable of seriously complex problem-solving and amazing creativity. The entire goal of this system is to stop wasting that incredible bandwidth on fuzzy, low-resolution static.
And really, that's what it all comes down to. The ultimate form of control, of personal sovereignty, isn't about making more choices. It's about having the wisdom to make fewer, but better ones. It's about stepping back from the endless stream of daily decisions and instead building a system, an architecture for your life that makes excellence your default setting. So the real question isn't, what will you choose to do today? It's, what kind of system will you architect for all of your tomorrows?